This is me trying to learn how to make more informal videos, so here we go with this. I have my emotional support, black owned, unicorn. Hi, my name is Aphrodite. This is Aphrodite's Soapbox, and this is all about the spirituality of Sims 3. Sorry. This is Ghost, everyone. Say hi, Baba. Say hi. Oh, no. Oh, so now you don't want to be seen after you were making all that noise. No, 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 no. Say hello, Pookie. Say hi. Go, child. This is my this is my journey of having a slight spiritual enlightenment from playing The Sims 3. Bear with me. I got my copy of The Sims 3 in 2014 and I was about 12 years old. That was back when we were using CDs. But how the game works is they basically give you this code, so anytime you log into the website, you can just put your code in and you'll get all your stuff back. You won't get your memory back because that's not how it works when you install the game. But you can re-download it. You never lose it. That happened to me with my Minecraft account. They switched from something to Microsoft and I lost my account. I was like, okay, I paid for that, but alright. So basically I found my code, right? And I've always kept it because The Sims, But I had this really weird experience where I was like, I need to play Sims right now because I'm giving child me what child me wants, which is to play, which is really weird. I was never really into games. Minecraft was an exception. The Sims was huge for me because it was Barbies, but you didn't have to move, so I like that. But yeah, so I start playing it, right? And I see I have over 300 hours logged in the game. It took a second, but I got my stuff back. I didn't get my worlds back. But as soon as I started playing it, I got all of these super interesting... I got this different perception of Sims. I was making my character, and it's different. When I was little, I used to give my character straight hair, pale skin, blue eyes, the white supremacists, wet dream. But this time I was she had my hair, my real skin color. She was me, right? I made my sim, and especially I made my Sims the exact way my body looks, which I never used to do that, right? I always used to make my sim thinner, which just felt like reclaiming something. I was okay, this is cute. This is what I love. So I start playing the game and I start to just realize things, because this is a game for kids at the end of the day, right? A lot of adults played it. The Sims 3 came out in 2009, but I didn't start playing it until 2014. And it's 2025 now. So I was okay, I'm playing it and it's so interesting because it really mimics the universe, right? In this sense, us as the player of the game is the creator of this whole world, and it's really interesting because it just really mirrors real life, and it made me realize a lot of the spiritual lessons I had learned on my journey were reflected in Sims, which is interesting because it was one of my favorite games as a kid, which makes sense. But a lot of people around me loved playing Sims, especially a lot of young girls, and it's because that's that divine femininity, that creator of the universe energy that you play in that game, that you play in Barbies. Which I'm not going to get into the way that's demonized in society, because whatever. It's crazy, right? Because we are these souls that exist in these bodies, right? And based on the lore, our souls choose our personality traits. They choose the way we look, right? They choose everything about us, and they choose our dreams. And then we go into the world and we have all these needs, right? Like in Sims, where your sim needs to eat and your sim needs to sleep and your sim needs to socialize with other people, or your sim gets really sad. And then I was even looking at life happiness points, where if you do something that is in alignment, right? In alignment with your life goals, which aren't chosen by you, right? It's chosen by the creator, so me playing the game. You get all these happiness points and you generally live a more joyous life. But what was really interesting was I was really comparing the way I used to play this game versus the way that I'm playing it now. When I was a kid, I used to kind of just rush through life, rush through my Sim's life, right? I used to get so annoyed when my Sim would like want to eat, right? Or my sim would want to sleep. And the way The Sims works, time is like sped up. So 1 second to us is 1 minute to The Sims. And you can just speed up time and speed through things, which is so similar to how souls are described, right, on Earth, and our souls who can like see everything that's happening in this plane and like make decisions on our lives based off that. And it was just so interesting to see this as an adult, how I was like so intrigued by this game because it explained my own divinity. But it was like so funny. I was like, oh nah, not Sims, like but I was just so happy. Like I remember I was playing, sitting right here actually, and the sunlight came in and I was just like, yes, like like this is what me as a kid loved to do, and I'm doing it now, and that's awesome. And like I have just been realizing so many things about life, but I love when real life mimics spiritual lessons with just like everything around us, right? But especially when something is like so specific to me, something that I didn't notice that now I notice. I love when that happens because it's just like, it just makes me feel like I've always been protected, right? But yeah, it was like a really beautiful experience to play after all these years. I don't think I've played since I was like about 15 or 16 years old. I used to play with like my friends, like we were obsessed with Sims. Yeah, it's just so beautiful, and it really does reflect like the time that we live in right now, right? Yeah, where we kind of just speed through life, do whatever we think we should be doing. And you know, as the creator, you know, of the sim, right? That's our perspective. We are the observer, right? We choose the Sim's like biggest dream, right? My Sim's biggest dream in this game that I'm talking about, it was to be a rock star. That was always one of my dreams when I was a little girl, right? To be a rock star, to sing in front of an audience, to be me, to say what I need to say. And it's really interesting because you go into this game with these dreams, right? But then real life hits, which happens to us, right? And it was just this beautiful realization of how when you start playing the game and you want certain things, right? You have certain desires. And you only get a certain amount of money in Sims, right? So you pick your house, whatever. You can pick a house, you can pick a lot. I always picked a house, right? Because I'm like, oh, this is just better. And then you like lose like most of your bank account. So then you're like, okay, how am I supposed to make money? And the first thing you think is, oh, I have to get a job. That's how people make money. You have to get a job. So every single time I played as a little girl, I always got a job, got really frustrated because there's not enough time. Right? In Sims and in the real world, there's not enough time. You go to work, you come back, your Sim's tired, your Sim's hungry. You make your Sim food. By the time it's time to do something you love, you can't. There's no time. You have work tomorrow, and then you have the weekend. So then you blow through the weekend, and then you're annoyed because it's Monday again. And it just like mimics real life in like this really like deep way where I was just like reflecting on capitalism and how like our time is stolen and all these things, and how I have made like an active choice to disrupt that system, in the sense that about 2 years ago when I was still in school, like still in university, I decided, yeah, I'm actually gonna like make some choices so I can somewhat have a life outside of this insane system. And as I've kind of been like going through this, I've been feeling a lot of feelings. I'm gonna just be very stream of consciousness, very honest, very like impromptu video, which I'm not really used to. I like hyper plan things and have a script, but we're just vibing. But it's really difficult when you start to divest from the system that everyone else is participating in, because at first you can feel very lonely, because just everyone else is in the rat race, and you're still in the rat race, right? Because you cannot fully divest from the system, but you can do certain things to protect your sanity, to protect your mental health, to protect your soul, really. You know, and it's all the things everyone says, right? But you kind of have to go through it to understand it. It's taking deep breaths, slowing down, and that's something that The Sims like really emphasizes with that time, where the observer experiences time completely different from The Sim, and you sort of just want it to speed up, like do this, do that. And I noticed like when I was a little girl, I would speed through life, get a job, get money, then I would get really frustrated, and I would just like marry like the richest guy in town in Sims, sell all his stuff, go back to my place, like live a comfortable life. I wouldn't do that in real life, obviously, but in The Sims, like, it felt like the only way to live like happy and to like actually play the game the way I wanted to. And mind you, right, before I played now in 2025, I have logged like hundreds and hundreds of hours playing this game. And I did the same thing in each new game, just in like a different variation of it. And it's interesting where you get to start and restart life over and over and over again. And your sim, you can start as an adult or a young adult, but if you start as a young adult, you have like more time. Like, because a year will go by and it'll be your birthday, and then you'll be old, and then you'll die. I've never had a sim die, which is like kind of funny in the way like I'm like afraid of change. But I've never had a sim die. I've never seen that. I realized playing now, I've never actually truly explored that game. So now that I'm kind of in this place in my life where I'm able to re-enter like this capitalist like hellscape with my mind intact, because I took some time, I'm really just going to live life as the observer in Sims in my real life. And I've been on that, right? But then I started playing the game again, and I was like, oh shit, this is like the cheat codes to life, where you have to like find happiness and be the disruption. And it's difficult, because the ways in which you feel lonely is like, everyone else is like living for money but without a purpose, right? Because money is a tool. Money is neutral energy. But most of the people around us are making money with no end, right? That's what they're told to do in the system. Make money, make money. Don't stop to think about what you actually want to do and what you want to invest that money into, right? Don't think about investing it in your health. Don't think about investing it in movement. Don't join a club. Don't do this. Just make money. And that was like really terrifying for me, being like a young adult and even like a young teenager, like working, right? Making money, and it literally like not doing anything with it, saving it for no reason, not using it, and then blowing it, right? And it was just like, what is the point of all of this? And it isn't until you remove yourself and you actually give yourself the time and the space to figure out what you want, you're able to re-enter the system, make money, put it towards a goal, and actually build something for yourself. But that also takes time to get there, to think about that, to like go through your shit, to like heal. But The Sims literally reflects that, which is crazy. But whoever invented The Sims is like awesome. I don't know who invented The Sims. This is a very spur of the moment video. I'm gonna look into that. But yeah, this shit is freaking cool. And then, right, I started playing again with this, you know, divestment of capitalism mentality. And I was just like, you know what? What if I quit my job? What if I actually quit my job? So then I quit my job in The Sims, and I'm an artist, right, in the game. My sim is an artist. My sim loves to play the guitar. My sim loves to garden, right? I didn't know about gardening in The Sims. Like, I didn't know you could like find seeds and you can collect rocks and you can fish and you can sell that to make money. I didn't know that. And when I did, I was like, oh wait, this is so cool. Like, you can do anything. You don't have to have a job. And that's sort of how it works in our society. Like, and the people who don't have jobs are the people who get successful, right? The people who invest in YouTube, the people who invest in their business, the people who do all these things that they like, that's their passion, that eventually, like, when you do something that you're so happy about, that's just good energy, and it keeps spreading and it becomes something big because you love it. Nothing you hate will ever become something big. That's just point blank, period. And, you know, I'm like all over the place and like explaining something really complex, but I'm just talking about The Sims and like spirituality. So, but yeah, like it's really like this beautiful thing. It's this beautiful thing that kids get to play, and it's cool because as like a queer person, as well as a queer black person, I felt like I could like explore living whatever type of life that I wanted. I was like, okay, I can marry a woman and adopt a child. Like, what is this? What is The Sims trying to tell us? That our dream lives can happen. And I truly believe I manifested everything that I have today because I played Sims, like, but also because like I'm like a magical angel being, right? I'm like a being of light, and I've always have been, you know. and no one's perfect. Everybody has their darkness to them that we have to find balance. But, you know, when you're magical, you call magical things to you, which is why when I was little I played The Sims. And I just loved how it was like Barbies, but it was like cooler because there was specific lessons to be learned playing this game that I guess like really help you on your journey, like when you become an adult and like you reflect back on it. I don't know, anyone who used to play Sims again and be like, whoa, what the fuck, like what is all of this? Another thing that I found like super interesting about myself is, like I said before, I would like rush through life. Like I would rush through it. I would like buy the birthday, when you buy a birthday cake in Sims, you can have your birthday now, so you can like literally skip around in life. And I would like and it would be the same thing, right? I would adopt all these kids, I would like marry someone, I would have a house, the house would be fancy, right? Because I would marry someone whatever wealthy, right? And then I'd be like, I'm so bored. Like now I have to take care of a child, like now I can't go out, like now I'm like, but what's crazy was I wasn't really living a life before, right? Before I had adopted the children from the freaking phone. You'd literally go on your phone on Sims, you click like adoptive services and they'll bring a kid, like whatever kid you want, DIY your own child. But I would always get bored, and I was playing now as an adult, right? And I was like collecting rocks and like being an artist and having my things, and my sim was so happy. And my sim was never that happy because my sim was always outside. Because and it's like things I didn't notice, right? You would get more like happiness points if you were outside, if you ate fresh fruits, like and there's so many ways you can like play the game where you're not stressed out, but you have to figure it out, right? Like with the sim always needing to eat, right? I would be like, oh, I have to go back home because I don't want to go to the restaurant and like waste money. I don't want to go back home because I have to work tomorrow. Like, and I'm talking about in the game, right? So I would go home and I would eat. Girl, now I'd be growing tomatoes, keeping them in my pocket and eating them out on the go. Like, I didn't know you could do that. And like, I'm fishing, and like, I'm like, okay, this is awesome. Like, this is awesome. Like, you can actually live one with like nature. So then, but I already had the kid and the whatever, so I was like, wait. So I stopped playing that game and I started playing a new game, right? And I did the same thing. And also, I was like, damn, why do I always buy like a whole house that I end up not liking and demolishing anyways? So I bought a lot. And I was like, and why do I always buy like a random lot? I bought a lot on the beach. There's lots on the beach you can buy. There's lots next to lakes you can buy. And I bought one next to a lake where I can fish. And then also next to the lake, there's like apples and like lettuce and what are those things called? What is that? Bell pepper. It's bell pepper planted, and like, you know, like if you don't have any food, blah blah, you can just go pick some fruit and you can fish, and it's cute because you're like, and it's like, whoa. And I'm like, why am I like so happy playing this game? Like, why is this how I want to live my real life? And then I'm like, that's literally a form of manifestation, to play these sort of games and live the life like you've always wanted to live, right? And then I was like, wait, do I want to be childless? And then I was like, wait, I don't know. And then I was like, chill. I don't think I do want to be childless, but you know, if you don't actually enjoy your youth and all you're doing is like, you know, making money to use for something you don't even know that you want, and like living an entire life like you're not 100% sure of, and then you have a child and then you're like, fuck, what the fuck happened in my life? Yeah. But if you're enjoying life, you're doing what you're doing, and then you're like, oh, I'm gonna have a kid now, then it's okay. It's not that I want to be childless. It's like skipping to the end. Which when I was a kid, I literally used to say that. I used to be like, I just want to skip to the end of life. I'm like, girl, what? You mean die? Nah. And I was talking to my friend about this. I was like, people overcomplicate life and put so many like barriers to themselves, which if you come into The Sims 3 with that mentality, you're not gonna have a good time and the game's gonna frustrate you. But if you just vibe and float like a little flower, you can collect rocks and sell them, and you can fish, and you can what did I say? You can be a gardener, and you can write. And there were so many things. Like, I was like, oh my god, you know, I'd never actually entered the library before until now, and I've logged 300 hours in that game. I'm like, what do you mean you never entered the library? What do you mean? Because some buildings you can't enter, but some of them you can. But if you don't, like, check. And now I just, like, go to random areas in the woods and, like, look for rocks. And it's so fun because you notice things you would have never noticed before. Like, there's this, like, mine that's, like, taped up. And there's, like, a light in there. I'm like, oh, what the fuck is that? And it's, like, things you never noticed before. And it's, like, that's how real life is. If you don't open your eyes and you don't slow down and you don't, like, connect to nature, you don't, like, be a human, you know, you'll feel like that. And it's sort of like, these are all things we know, right? Like, when you're enlightened and you're on this spiritual path, these are things you know. These are lessons that you learn, and you learn that, like, mostly everyone around you is numb and, you know, sort of operating out of strange mindsets and mentalities. But that's why learning lessons, and it's not even about learning the lessons, like, linearly, it's about learning them within your own time. Because a lot of people, they'll, like, you know, abuse drugs and then learn certain shit that they're not supposed to know yet and then freak out because, like, spirituality is, like, this really huge, somewhat unbelievable, magical concept that makes your life really bright, shiny, and fun. You know? It really, like, helps you find your meaning and helps you find your bliss and just helps you be a better human, you know? And some people, they're born already knowing a lot of things and they just feel like an outsider. And I really like this, like, spiritual impromptu videos like other creators are making right now, just because I feel like we're in a time where people are just genuinely awakening. So I'm like, I'm gonna make mine, but I'm gonna make it about, like, me playing Sims, because I'm like, I don't know. But yeah, it's awesome, it's cool, it's cute. Do things you love. Don't stop yourself from, like, doing something you love just because, oh, that's for kids, that's for girls, that's gay. Be gay then. Be gay then. But yeah, like, I was like, why haven't I been playing this? I love this game. I love this game in the sense where you get to live, like, a million lives and, like, figure out, like, kind of what you like, and then you're like, wait, how does life even work? You know? And I just have this, and in my sim has this really beautiful home on a lake, right? With these big windows that lets the sun in the morning, and her kitchen is outside. It's like this little patio kitchen, and she has an easel and her guitar. And you know what, like, the biggest lesson that I was, like, learning from playing this game as an adult was that, dude, you don't even have to accomplish your goals to be happy. You don't. You don't have to do the thing you set out to do, and then once it's done, now you can be happy. And it's not even about chasing it, right? It's about just doing it. Your dream is to be a rock star? Pick up a guitar and start learning it. You don't have to be on a stage. Your room is your stage, and your dream came true. Now what? Now what? Now your dream came true and you're happy. Now what? But why do we not give ourselves that happiness? Because it doesn't look like what everyone else. Girl. At this point, I'm like at a place where sometimes I'm just like, nah. But at the end of the day, you also have to just keep going. Like, and the hardest part for me is just, like, seeing the people around me and not being able to help them. Like, everybody has their thing that stops them. Not stops them, but, like, holds them back. And for me, that's it. Like, I love humans so much. I love other people. I love people, especially people in my life that I love. And, like, I love people so much. People are so beautiful and interesting. And if the world didn't have people in it, you know, if I was the last person left on earth, I'd be really sad, right? Because I love all of you. I do. People are so weird. Even evil people interest me. Liars everybody interests me. Everybody has their place, you know? And everyone is a balance, you know? And even when you see someone that's, like, so beautiful and you think they're perfect, they're not perfect, they're balanced. They're not perfect, they're balanced. And they are the arbiter of their own morality. And they know what they believe. And they don't care if you agree with them. And that looks like perfection to the world. But this is all over the place, but it's just a vibe to listen to. Listen to this when you're drawing. Listen to this as you play Sims. Yes. Listen to this as you just vibe, you know, calm down, hear my voice. I be talking. And hopefully this won't be the last like impromptu video. But yeah, it was nice talking to you guys. This is just my stream of consciousness about spiritual enlightenment from playing The Sims 3. Let me not laugh, because I'm being serious. But then I'm also laughing because, you know, if you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. Bye.